go again. Well, we do have a little theme today. If you're a frequent watcher, you know that earlier in the season I did a show on roads and highways that take you to different places. So today I thought I'd do a show on some of the places you can get to. And of course that first song was Kansas City. 1952 was written. A fellow named Wilbert Harrison had the hit on it in 1959. Now, I had never heard of Wilbert Harrison at that time. Never heard of him since. So I think he was probably kind of a country soul type singer, but I guess he was one of those one-hit wonders on Kansas City. Now, Kansas City's nice. It's an interesting city because there's Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, and it's all the same city in two different states across the river, across the Missouri River. Now, we were there, and we went to a museum called the Arabia. What's the Arabia, Coach Dave? Well, I'm going to tell you. The Arabia was a steamboat that used to go up and down the Missouri River back in the 1850s. Well, one day it didn't go any further. It sunk. They found the Arabia in a farmer's field. What had happened was through all the years and the decades, the river had shifted just enough so that where the Arabia went down, which was in the river, is no longer in the river. And the farmer's digging his field one day, what the heck is this? You know, and they dug it all up. And the cargo on it was pristine because it had been, enclosed and all that time. And the day we were there, just happened that one of the fellows that dug it up was in there. So we got, a really good explanation of the whole situation. So Kansas City. All right. Well, I think for our next tune, providing I push all the proper buttons, and you never know if that's going to happen, I think we'll go, let's say a little east of Kansas City, and we're going to go to Tennessee. Now, the song we're going to play is my version of the Tennessee Waltz, and I call it the Tennessee, not a waltz, don't play a waltz, do it 4/4 time. And of course, it was written in 1946. Big hit was a young lady named Patti Page. In 1950 and 1965, the Tennessee Waltz, not the Nada Waltz, became the state song of Tennessee. Now, I haven't played the Tennessee Nada Waltz in Tennessee, so I'd probably get tarred and feathered if I did. But, well, let's see what the Tennessee Nada Waltz sounds like. Tennessee, not a waltz, not a waltz. I was talking to Corey Pesatoro a while back, and I'm telling him, I just don't play waltzes as waltzes. I do them 4/4 time, and he happened to be over the house. He says, "Oh, really?" So, of course, he grabs my accordion, and I think, yeah, I finally got him something I could do the Corey Pesatoro. 10 seconds he had it, So I smacked him around, what can I say? So, I mean, waltzes are fine, but they're just, too dainty and pretty, So let's see if I can push the right buttons for our next tune. I think we're all set. Well, we're in Tennessee. Let's go to Georgia. It's right near Tennessee. And this song was written in 1940 by, of all people, and I just forgot his name. Oh boy. Hoagy Carmichael, that's it. Hoagy Carmichael wrote this. Now, Hoagy Carmichael was kind of a song and dance man, and you just can't picture him writing a pretty tune like Georgia on My Mind, but he did. He wrote it. And, of course, the big hit was in 1960 when, remember, Ray Charles did Georgia on My Mind. So let's see what we can do with this. Georgia, or Georgia on My Mind, as its full title is. Well, when you travel a lot of these places, there's you can see mountains, beautiful. In fact, there's a mountain in Georgia called Stone Mountain, and it's a whole big hunk of stone, and they have a park there, and they have a souvenir stands and all that. And you say, well, why? Because carved into that mountain, I believe it's 3, It's the three Southern generals in the Civil War, all facing north. And it's quite an attraction. There's a big, I think it's about a 5-mile loop road around it, and but that's what it is. They're still fighting it down there, folks. But so that's one of the mountain things you can see in our little trip. So I think probably we'll just oh, I don't know, play something about mountain greenery. How's that sound? Yeah, it's a good song. 1926 came from some type of Broadway show, an obscure show that probably didn't last too long. But a little mountain greenery. Let's see what this sounds like. Mountain greenery, and of course there's a lot of mountain greenery even up here in New England where we taped this show. Like I've said 1,000 times, if you're watching in New Zealand or someplace, you know, map of the United States, Little Hook way up on the right, that's where we are. So well, you know, a nice place to go, especially this cold weather we're having here in New England, would be, oh, I don't know, how about Miami Beach? Should be nice and warm down there. And a fellow named Irving Fields, he was a Jewish fellow from Brooklyn with a name about this long, and he made it Irving Fields. Piano player, had a trio, played in Miami Beach for years. He wrote this next particular song called Miami Beach Rumba. Now, Irving Fields was playing well into his 90s. I believe when he was 95 years old, he was still, as they say, doing gigs. So, Austin, we're going to keep going. Let's see if we can hit 95. So this is Miami Beach Rumba. This was a hit for him, and I believe he recorded it. Back in those days, there was a big band called Xavier Cugat, and Xavier Cugat actually had the big hit on Miami Beach Rumba. Here we go. Marimba. Well, you know, we got a little extra time today. I thought we might. So I hadn't really decided what I was going to do if we had extra time, but well, maybe we could do it if you can't drive there because it's across the ocean, but a lot of people say that they kind of love Paris, so let's see what it's like. I love Paris. Like I said, you can't drive there, but once you get there, I'm sure they have roads. Never been there, but from all the pictures I've seen, there seem to be cars driving, so I guess it's all right. Well, that gets us down towards the end of our time. And we're going to stay back here in the States for this next tune. This next tune is called Back Home Again in Indiana. Now, it's a nice place to go. Now, Indiana is kind of like a space saver between Ohio and Illinois. It's a very thin state. We've driven across it several times, and it doesn't take you long to go across Indiana. Now, every year they have, I don't know, some little festivities in Indianapolis. They got a big round circle there. The guys get in their cars and drive 200 miles an hour just to get back where they start. I don't understand, but but before that race, every year somebody sings Back Home Again in Indiana. Fella used to do it, Jim Neighbors. Remember Jim Neighbors? Golly, Andy. Yeah, on the old Andy Griffith show. Yeah, well, of course, he's gone. But different people now do sing the song for the Indianapolis Back Home Again in Indiana. See if I can push the right buttons. I think that might be it. All right. back home again in Indiana. Of course, that was from 1917. And song's more than 100 years old. Wow, and it had become a jazz standard also. Well, that's just about our show for today. Hope you've enjoyed traveling around to these different spots. We've been to just about all of them, and each one has its own interesting aspects, and they're just fun to see and nice places to go. So this is Coach Dave. Thank you all for watching, listening, however it is, tuning in to get our little extravaganza here. And of course, the big guy behind the glass, Austin Ricketts, is there every week making me look good. Well, if I do look good, it's him. If I don't, it's, something wrong with the instrument. I don't know. But so let's take it home with a little more of, well, we'll go back home. Well, never mind.